one of the upper staff people that the employee went through all those levels?
I would think that's going to be, unfortunately, Terry's job.
Okay. I'm just asking. All right. Thank you.
Well, the way I read that, that's really, all you're saying is this is our existing policy, and as chair, I didn't enforce this in the fall because we were in the heat of the moment, and I thought that as a goodwill gesture and a matter of good faith with our educators, we wouldn't enforce this. I think what we're saying is that perhaps we need to be enforcing our policies, and this doesn't, she's not asking for a change. This is the existing policy. Do we like it? Do we not? And basically it's, and if we don't and we want to change it, then we need to be thinking about how we want to change it. And if we don't change it, then it would be my recommendation that when folks call to speak, that they are directed to this board policy to make sure that people who want to speak before the board all know they have 5 minutes, all know the protocol. I think that would be helpful for everybody that wants to speak to the board, because we do have policies about how, you know, these are our board meetings which are in public. So we do have an opportunity to hear from the public. We've set up protocols to do that, and I think anytime somebody calls to speak, they should be referenced to what those protocols are. I think that's really the gist of this. Mr. Harris?
Yeah, I'm just like, if you look back like at the Stat 10 testing, you know, for me as a board member, it would have been a whole lot more helpful if it had bubbled up. You know, Dr. McIntyre, you know, we've got some, you know, quite a few teachers that want to address the board. Decision, which is, it's okay. Good people can disagree. But then instead of coming just, you know, one after another with their 5 minutes, to maybe put together some type of a presentation, and then we can ask them questions, because, you know, and then we can have a dialogue. And then also it would be on our agenda, so we would be able to get some information from you and the administration, you know, how we see it, and then we could, before the meeting, we could try to, you know, come to some conclusions, and then be able to ask some good questions to the teachers when they got up here to address us. So basically give them a forum to put together a presentation, I think would be better than even just having like a 5-minute forum the way we do it now.
Any more discussion on this policy?
I guess
Ms. Carson?
the only thing I will add kind of to what Mike had to say, you know, I've got it on here because I didn't have any changes, but I felt like we needed to talk about it. It doesn't have to be amended by Wednesday. You know, we can look at it for July. You know, I think it's better to verify and make sure it's where we want it prior to the school year starting, because it's easier then to communicate to all personnel.
Just comment, I think that would be much better, would be if we were going to make a change in it, try to do it at the July meeting as opposed to doing it, you know,
right,
within 48 hours.
Right. Mr. Dickens?
No, I was just going to say thanks to Karen for bringing that up, because I think it does leave a trail for accountability. And, you know, and we oftentimes people criticize and say that things go without being looked at, or they, you know, were never addressed. Well, here's the perfect example where they will be, and if they don't get addressed, we'll know about it. So thanks for bringing that up, Karen.
Great. All right. Next